Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Tuesday. Today I'm coming at you with a highly requested video, and that is to do a review on the beautiful Chanel Classic Jumbo Double Flap. I'm going to give you guys a quick overview of the bag. I'm going to give you guys some pros, some cons. I also have some tips about going to acquire this bag and kind of things to think about. And I also have some mod shots at the very end of this video so you guys can see what it looks like on my body frame. And because I want this video to be very in-depth and I want to be as thorough as I possibly can, I even have some notes. So if I keep looking down, you know why. All right, so let's get started. Before I forget, the measurements on this beautiful bag are 11.8 inches in length, it is 7.7 inches in height, and it is 3.9 inches in depth. This bag features the black classic quilted caviar leather with the gold hardware. However, it is also available in lambskin and silver hardware. Their iconic colors are the black and the beige. I'm not sure if the red is still considered a classic color anymore, but I know from season to season they end up introducing different colors, different leather details, and they also have different types of hardware, kind of like the So Black or the ruthenium hardware. But for the most part, their iconic hardware is in the gold or the silver, and then their iconic leathers are in the caviar and the lambskin, and the colors are black and beige. Now let's get into the major details of this bag. Let me turn it around so you guys can check it out. This bag only features one outside pocket, and this back pocket is often referred to as the Mona Lisa or the Mona Lisa smile because of the little indentation at the top of the pocket, and this pocket is leather lined. On the bottom you will see that there are no feet, but you can also see the seam where the two leathers meet, and it's always smack in the middle. And then here's one side view, and then the front side, of course. Now the front side features the double CC logo with a turn lock closure that opens up like so. To reveal, of course, the first thing that you notice is the beautiful burgundy interior of the double flap, but we will get into that in just a second. So at the very top of the first flap, you have a zippered compartment. Now this zippered compartment usually has a YKK or an EP zipper. Mine is EP, that opens up like so. Now this pocket goes upward instead of downward, so you're able to go all the way up to where my finger is right now to be able to hide any documents that you need, or any paperwork, or any cash or anything like that. And then you also have another little secret compartment in between the first flap and the second flap, and that is right in here, and it actually goes down to the length of the bag, so it actually goes to the entire back side of it, so you're able to again hide a few other things if you needed to. So there is that. All right, so now we get into the second flap. Here we go. The beautiful second flap, or the double flap, has this gorgeous burgundy interior lining, leather lining, and you have the double CC logo that is stitched onto the leather. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then you have Chanel, and it says made in Italy. Mine is made in Italy. There are some that are made in France, but there you go. There's a quick shot of it. And then on the inside, it has the beautiful burgundy interior again, and you have two slip pockets, one on either side of this little guy right here. Now this little guy, you're able to, it's the perfect size to be able to fit in your lipstick, which is the intended use for it, but I've been able to fit a few other things in there, but for the most part a lipstick fits perfectly into that little pocket. Then you have another little slip pocket here that also has the beautiful burgundy interior. This bag also features the beautiful leather intertwined into the chain, which is very, very iconic of this bag. And last but not least, most importantly, this bag retails for $5,500 here in the States. Let's talk about the pros, shall we? For me, even though this bag does have a few cons, I feel that the pros definitely outweigh those. The number one pro for me is the silhouette. I absolutely love the simple, classic, sleek design of this bag. I'm not one to have to prefer bags with a bunch of bells and whistles with too much going on. I feel that it takes away from the bag. And the fact that this just has the beautiful quilting throughout, and it just has the CC logo here, I feel that the bag speaks for itself. So I really, really like the simplicity of it. Another pro for me is the fact that this bag is so incredibly versatile in the sense that you can wear this in any type of setting, whether you're, whether you're in a casual setting and wearing jeans and a t-shirt and just running to the grocery store, or whether you're dressed up in this beautiful gown and going to a gala. Regardless, I think that it works. I feel that it elevates any outfit that you're wearing, and it's just a statement piece in itself. So I really, really do like that. Another pro for me is the double flap. Now I know a lot of people will disagree with me because some people prefer the single flap over the double flap, but I feel that the extra flap that this has has adds to the structure of the bag and lets it maintain its structure, which is very, very important in my lifestyle. Do I appreciate a slouchy bag? I do, but it's not something that I want in my lifestyle, especially on the sides. I feel that it holds its shape a lot better, and I feel that it will look newer in the long run versus getting something that doesn't, that doesn't have the double flap, if that makes any sense. But like I said, it's just a personal preference of mine, and it's just how I prefer to have my bags look over time. Another pro I'd have to say is the fact that, again, with the versatility, you can carry this bag crossbody. Personally, I don't like it crossbody. I think it looks a little funky on me. But I know that if you ever needed to, you could just pretty much take this, chain and put it crossbody, and you're good to go. You're hands free. I feel that it just, again, it looks a little funky on my body frame, but you are able to wear this, whether you have it on one side of your shoulder, whether you have it, double handles the way I do, double straps, or just as a crossbody bag. Regardless, I think that it works. So the versatility, again, that you're able to use this different ways is perfect. Another thing that I have to say is, even though it doesn't seem like it because of the double flap, this bag actually holds quite a bit. I carry anywhere from 7 to 8 daily essentials, with the exception of one that I'm not able to fit in here because it's pretty much almost the same width as the bag. I'm able to fit quite a bit in here, so I really, really do like it. And even though I'm not able to fit that other daily essential with me, I'm able to put those items into another compartment without having to sacrifice how much it is that I really want to carry in here. So I did do a what's in my bag video, and if you guys want, I will link it down below so you guys can see how much I could actually fit in there. And I'm actually able to fit a lot more than what I normally carry on a daily basis, again, with the exception of the other item, which is the Louis Vuitton cosmetic pouch that I'm not able to fit because of its width. Another pro is the fact that this bag actually has quite a few different compartments. So you have this little secret compartment up here, you have the secret pocket in between the two flaps, and then you have, of course, this main pocket, the main compartment, the 2 slip pockets, and then the back pocket here. So it has quite a bit of places that you can store your goodies. And usually what I like to do is on the back pocket, it's a perfect place to be able to fit your phone, whether you have an iPhone 6 Plus or a Samsung or something a little bit larger. You're able to fit this in here without a problem. Or whether you like to carry the phone on the very front part, you're able to do that as well. But I just feel like it has quite a bit of storage space, and it doesn't necessarily just have to be the main compartment where you store your items. And another pro, and I actually debated whether or not I wanted to add this as a pro, but I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. The fact that this bag is one of my holy grail bags, and what I mean my holy grail is the fact that this is a bag that I only dreamt about owning when I was younger. I never thought in a million years I would be in a position where I'd be able to afford this type of bag. You know what I mean? So I worked my butt off to be able to get what it is that I wanted. So I feel if you work hard, you play hard, you get what you want. So those are the pros for me. On to the cons. This bag has 4 cons in my opinion. And the first con I'd have to say is, I'm going to keep it honest with you guys. I'm going to keep it really honest. This bag is heavy. It is heavy, and because it is a double flap, it adds to the heaviness of it. So if you have bad shoulders, I don't recommend this bag. If you like the silhouette, if you like the size of a jumbo but don't want that heaviness, then I recommend getting a single flap, which those are discontinued, so now you can only get them pre-loved. But it's obviously the same type of style, same type of size. It just doesn't have that extra weight to it. So over time, this chain will its presence will be a little bit more noticeable, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you were to compare this to a medium large, it is definitely night and day. Even though the medium large would be a double flap, it's still night and day. It's night and day with the heaviness compared to, or with the lightness compared to the single flap. So if you have, again, bad shoulders, I do not recommend this bag because over time, you can definitely feel the weight of this bag. Another con that I'd have to say is, and it doesn't bother me, but I have to let you guys know, this chain squeaks. To be honest, I've never looked up how to get rid of the squeakiness, but because you have the leather throughout the chain, it just makes this squeaky noise to it. I'm going to bring it up to the camera to see if you guys can hear it, because that's all I can hear right now. Do you hear that? I don't know if you heard it or not, but if something like that will drive you crazy. I'm just letting you guys know it will be a major con for you. But the squeakiness is there, especially when you go to, you know, kind of put it from your left shoulder to your right shoulder. You'll be able to just, you'll hear it. And if you focus on it, then it will drive you crazy. So I just have to say that in there. Another con is the fact that it is also a pro, and I talked about this in my pros for me. Even though it does have the compartments in there, I feel that if you definitely need to overload this bag, if you need to make sure that you put a lot of items in here and you want to put a lot of items in here, if you overfill, if you overstuff this pocket here, it takes away from how much you can actually fit into the main compartment. So I just thought I'd mention that as well. So you can't overload this pocket and then have this pocket just be just as great as well. So it's really a little bit, you know, it's either one or the other. So even though, as I said before, it is a pro that it does have so many compartments, it is a con in the sense that you can't really stretch out this compartment here and fit in as much as you want into the second compartment and be able to close this bag. You can do it, but then you run the risk of stretching out the leather. But, you know, to each their own. I just don't feel comfortable doing it. So I tend to, you know, fit things that are a little bit more narrow, kind of like my phone, or if I need to have the Chanel card holder or the Louis Vuitton card holder will fit in here perfectly, or an Empreinte clay, without having to add too much strain to the leather. So again, I just thought I'd mention it. And last but not least, another major con that I would have to say is, even though we haven't had an increase in Chanel here in the U.S. within the last year, the fact that this bag continues to increase over time, and the fact that it no longer has the gold plating, that is probably one of the major drawbacks to this bag. So if you've been collecting Chanel for some time now, you know that in the past, this all the hardware used to be gold plating, and now it is not. So the fact that they keep increasing the prices and kind of taking away that beautiful detail that had the gold plating just kind of makes you think, is the quality there anymore? So that's why I wanted to add this as a con, because if you wanted to have the gold plating, then you would have to get your bags pre-loved. But if you're okay with it not being gold plated, I haven't had any issues with mine chipping or anything like that, or with any of my pieces, and none of my bags, none of my items have gold plating, and I haven't had any issues. But regardless, I thought I would just bring that up because, again, a lot of people that have collected Chanel in the past, I mean, they raved about how beautiful the gold plating was, and they raved about the quality of the gold plating, and the fact that that's not there anymore, and they keep increasing the prices is just something that, you know, just a lot of people aren't happy with, and it would be a major con for them. So as I said before, I do have those cons that I talked about. I feel that the pros outweigh the cons, in my opinion. And when I talked about the heaviness, it's not like to the point where I just want to throw the bag down and just say, okay, I'm done. I have had some of those bags where I'm just like, I can't take it anymore. It's too much. And I know some people might say beauty is pain, but I'm sorry. When it starts digging into your shoulder, and if it's that noticeable to you, then I definitely don't think that it is a wise choice to go for a bag that would be that uncomfortable for you. But like I said, I don't feel that it's too bad. I feel that it's fine, but I just had to mention the heaviness once again. Okay, so a few tips that I wanted to give you guys, and forgive me because I want to look at my notes. As I told you guys in the beginning, I want to give you guys as much information as possible, you know, because I feel that the more information you have, the better. That way you can decide whether or not you want to add this bag to your collection. Now, the first tip that I have to give you guys for this bag is take your time whenever you think about adding this bag to your collection. Take your time. Go into the boutique. If you're in the boutique for 3-4 hours and you try it on different ways, the way that it looks, it doesn't matter. Try it out. It is way too much money not to think twice about adding this bag to your lifestyle, to your collection. And, you know, if it takes a few trips to the boutique to see if it works out for you, then so be it. Try all your items in there. Every daily essential that you absolutely need, that you don't want to sacrifice, see if it fits in here and see if that's something that works out for your lifestyle, because ultimately you're the one that's going to be carrying the bag. Another one is the fact that the price tag is ridiculous. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's no big deal. I have a money tree. Let me just grab my money in my backyard. No, it is a lot of money. So as I said before, it it's something that you really, really have to think twice about. If you're in the position that you don't have to think twice about your purchase and you could just grab these bags without a problem, then more kudos to you, more power to you. That's awesome. Unfortunately, I am not in that position, but it is a lot of money. And I'm going to be honest with you guys that when I first got this bag, I was very nervous. I was so nervous because I didn't know. It wasn't to the point where I was hyperventilating, because that sounds a little dramatic, but it was just so surreal. It didn't, this bag cost, or my first car cost 1/5 of this bag when I first started to drive. And the fact that I was kind of like, oh my goodness, really? This, some people, this is a down payment for a first car. This is more than their first car. It just kind of hit me that, the price tag of this bag. And I know a lot of people don't talk about the price tag. It's kind of like, oh, I got this bag, and am I excited that I added this bag to my collection? Absolutely. But it is a lot of money. And I'm not going to sit here and act like it's no sweat off my back, because I had to work really hard and to be able to acquire this bag. So, the price tag, it's scary. It is scary. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Everyone always talks about Chanel as being an investment. It's not so much as an investment piece, unless it completely skyrockets in price, as the fact that it holds its resale value incredibly well. So let's say you purchase this bag today, and let's say in a few months or in a few years, it just doesn't end up working for you or doesn't suit your lifestyle. The fact that you can sell it for as much, if not a little bit less or a little bit more, depending upon the price, really speaks volumes and really makes you feel comfortable about spending the type of money that you're going to be spending on this luxury handbag. So there are other luxury brands out there that are just as expensive as Chanel, but they don't hold their resale value as well. So that kind of adds a little bit peace of mind, the fact that you're not going to be losing all of that money. Another thing that I want to tell you guys is be honest with yourselves. Don't think, I'll get used to the weight, and just to try to justify purchasing this bag, because the weight is definitely there. It is definitely noticeable. And there's been times when I want a bag and I'm just so set on getting it because that's the bag that I want. That's the bag that I want. And I'm sitting there trying to convince myself things of, well, I can do this, or I can do this, and I can do that, trying to alter, how I'll end up using it, or try to justify getting that bag. But what ends up happening is, number one, you end up having buyer's remorse, or number two, you don't end up using that bag. So you really have to think twice about all of the, everything that the bag encompasses, and everything that, all the little details that you might think are not very important, or, like the heaviness. Some people might not think it's a big deal, but other people, it might be a complete deal breaker because it's just too heavy for them. And I'd have to say also, do tons and tons of research on this bag. I can't even tell you how many YouTube videos I watched. I got opinions from everyone. And, the more research you do, because I might be saying one thing, someone else might say something else, but the more information that you have, the better. That way you can really see if this is a bag that suits your lifestyle. And you can get opinions, as I said before, from your friends, from your family, but ultimately it's your opinion, the one that counts, because you're the one that's buying the bag. You're the one who's carrying the bag. So it has to be something that is going to be perfect for your lifestyle. Most importantly, not everyone is going to agree with you about spending this type of money on a bag. Some people might ridicule you. Some people might think it's stupid, it's silly, it's a waste of money. Why would you do that? Spend your money on something else. But ultimately, all that matters is what you think. Can you take other people's opinions into consideration? Yes, but don't let that be the ultimate and the deciding factor as to why you got the bag or why you didn't. Because your happiness is all that matters. If this bag makes your heart sing, if this bag makes you happy, if this bag makes you smile from ear to ear, then that's all that matters. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I try to be as thorough as I possibly can, and I apologize if I kept looking down at my notes, but I didn't want to leave anything out. And thank you guys so much for this request. I had a blast doing it, and I hope I was able to help some of you guys out. So I don't know if I'll see you guys tomorrow. It might be on Thursday, but regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.